dog hair everywhere. Hi. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Alyssa. I'm trying to be really softly spoken today because Jesus is sleeping in the next room while I'm filming. But I haven't posted a video in a while, so I wanted to do something sort of quick, easy, sit down, because I haven't been vlogging because I've been really sick. Today's the first day I really haven't been squeaking when I talk. I was taken out of work for a number of days because they wanted to make sure I didn't have Corona, and so far I don't. I have had one test. I'm waiting for results on a second test, which I should have tomorrow, and I feel better, so hopefully that means we're a-okay. It was just very similar symptoms, and I was very sick, but we're good, we're fine, I'm feeling better, everything's great. I believe I still have to remain out of work for the next few days, but we're just gonna get a video up, so that's why you haven't seen me. So what are we gonna do? What is this? What am I doing? It is bedtime here. Shay, Alyssa, hence my lovely unicorn outfit. I figured I'd try to disguise from how probably exhausted and tired and sick I look, because I didn't bother to put any makeup on, with my unicorn, because nothing distracts like a unicorn. Anyway, so what are we doing here? Why am I rambling? So I just finished today. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that I finished reading Crush, and I am unabashedly in love with the series, and I wanted to spend some time talking about Crave and Crush because they're kind of polarizing books, and my good friend Frances did these. This is kind of inspired by two of my friends. My good friend Frances, who's a book in bed over on Instagram. If you don't follow her, go follow her. She's brilliant and sweet and a sweet baby angel, and she's everything. She made this really awesome reel where she went through she went through a bunch of really funny one-star reads of some of her favorite books, which I know is a tag that's been going around Bookstagram, but she's just particularly funny. And then my other friend Lacey, who we're going to have a review from later in the video, read Crave, and she's a diehard Twilight fan and absolutely loathed this book, and wrote a brilliantly worded, scathing review that only Lacey can read. She's Grayscale Books over on Instagram. So, what we're doing, I decided that I wanted to talk about these two books and go through the many negative reviews that I found on the internet, because I love it. So like, I know how I feel. I don't need to read the things that I know are great and wonderful about these books. I want to see all the horrible ones. So I went through and screenshotted a couple things that I found. So there will be spoilers. So if you don't want to see spoilers, unfortunately, click off. But before you click off, make sure that you put this on your to watch later, because you need to read these. And then also, remember to like and subscribe, okay? Because, you know, maybe the unicorn will come back. I haven't done this in a while. Can you tell? I'm a little rusty. Anyway, so what is Crave? Crave is, and the author's going to get mad at me. I'm just going to say that right now, because I think that the author has a very high opinion of this book, which is fine. It's your baby, it's your creation. Have a high opinion. Not gonna slag you off on that one. But this book and this book, they steal a lot of their plots from other popular books. The three main ones that I can find that are blaringly obvious are Twilight, especially this one, and Harry Potter and ACOTAR series, especially this one, which would make me mad. But frankly, I just enjoy every moment of this dumpster fire of a series that I don't care, because it's just melodramatic and teenage vampire paranormal goodness that makes you want to turn the page. At the end of every chapter, she does some like unnecessary twists, so you just have to keep reading because you want to see what happens next, and it just makes me happy. Like, this just makes me happy, and I know that I'm a 37-year-old woman. I should probably not love this as much as I do, but I do. I already pre-ordered the third one. There's 4 of them that are going to be in the series that we know of so far. So I'm really excited. So let's talk about Crave. Crave, you meet, let's see, Grace. Her parents die. She ends up going to Alaska because she has relatives there. They run an academy called Catmere Academy, and something's different there. The different thing is that everybody there is like a demon of some sort. So she gets this ragtag bunch of friends, and slowly she figures out that they're all like vampires and werewolves and dragons and witches, and like her cousin is a witch, and she never knew this. Nobody bothered to tell her anything about this. Her whole life was like, she's just lived in the human world and has had no idea about this. Grace is a little stupid. I don't care. She falls in love with a vampire named Jackson with an X, because that's not cringy, but I don't care. And Jackson has to kill his brother Hudson, and because Hudson, his girlfriend's trying to kill Grace, is a whole thing. You know, everyone's fighting at the end, yada yada yada. Not the best description, but what the hell. I'm not here for this. We're not here for this. We're here for those snarky 1-star reviews. Just summarizing. So anyway, whatever. Hudson dies. Grace turns to stone, because, shocker, she's a fucking gargoyle. And, yeah, bookends. Whatever. Okay, great. Oh, Jackson's her mate, because Sarah J. Maas apparently made it so that we just get that word shoved down our throats now, forever. It is what it is. Jackson and her are mated. They have a mate bond. Okay, enter Aqua Tower. Okay, what happens when you get to Akamath? We switch roles, right? So, it turns out that our little gargoyle, they figure out how to get her out of stone, and she has Hudson, the brother, remember, who's like evil and horrible, and Jackson her mate had to kill him. Yeah, he now lives inside of her head, and he has a British accent, but his brother doesn't. His brother has an American accent, because somehow that happens. And then there's like a battle that's sort of like, not a battle, like a game that's sort of like Quidditch meets the Goblet of Fire, and so they have to do that and that game, and that's all part of like getting all of these magical items that will help get Hudson out of her head. But of course, the longer Hudson's stuck in her head, do they start to form a bond? Of course. Do we realize that the bad boy is actually the good boy? Of course. Can we call him Reese? Of course. Do we care? I don't. Anyway, you know, lots of battles, lots of twists and turns. You know, Jackson and Hudson's dad wants to kill her because she's the first gargoyle in like thousands of years, and apparently gargoyles are like super powerful. Who knew a gargoyle was super powerful? And there's like 1,000 plot holes, and it's completely melodramatic, and it's completely over the top, and I don't fucking care. And it ends with plot twist. She's made it to Hudson because someone breaks her mate bond with Jackson from this book. People are up in arms because we switch things. So Jackson's now Tamlin and Hudson's now Reese, and I can't wait for book 3. And here we go. Let's go into it, because people are going to talk about stuff, and now you have some context, and I hope that was at least amusing. So let's go. I'm going to save so much dog hair. So my dog sleeps in this bed. It's not the dog bed. It's my reading chair, but my dog sleeps in it, so it's covered in dog hair. Let me find these screenshots. So I will put them up as I'm reading them, but let's find some good ones. I'm going to cross out people's names. Where's a good one here? Let's start with one for Crave. We just have simple DNF'd at 6%. Talk about a dumpster fire. Laughing my ass off. DNF'd at 32%. I tried, I really did. It took me a week to make it to 30%, and I just can't do it. The heroine is juvenile, yes she is, repeating in her mind how hot everyone is, and everything is awesome AF. Oh my god, that is one of the most annoying parts of this book, is that she uses AF like people actually say that all the time. I can't count all the ways something is AF, sexy as AF, creepy AF, hot AF, I expect from YA that the language is different from, I don't know what CR means, but boy, this heroine sounds like a 14-year-old. I think she's only like 17. Is she 19? She might be 19. She's not that old, but she's really juvenile. Anyway, everything is cliche and not very original. I get that this has a hard time after so many amazing YA vampire books, but for that it was just too much of a shame. Too much of the same. Here's my white flag. I don't even know if I read that right, but who cares? I like this one. This was the funniest book I've ever read in my life. This book is not meant to be a comedy. Laughing my ass off. See, like, that's the thing. I feel like if the author would admit that this is satirical and is supposed to be like sort of tongue-in-cheek and be like the mashup of all these different like YA genres and like popular YA books and like series, like plots and themes, that would be fine. But she doesn't. She like acts like she's the new fucking William Shakespeare. No, girl, no, you're not. You wrote something that is pleasing and book candy, but you ain't William Shakespeare. Anyway, this author really thought that she could get away with plagiarism and no one would notice. You'll never catch me slipping. Tracy Wolff really said, I'm gonna take stuff from Twilight, The Vampire Diaries, and The Wizards of Waverly Place. I really don't know what to say. The writing was juvenile, the plot was virtually non-existent. I feel like everyone who recommended this to me were all on some big prank. Also, what the fuck was that ending? That's about her turning to stone in this. Is no one gonna talk about how this cover is literally just a Twilight pic and the original Vampire Diaries front? Or yeah, there's a lot of plagiarism in this. This one's too long. We're not doing that. Gods of Olympus, help me. That's pretty simple. These are all just for Crave. DNF'd at chapter 7. I initially started off reading from the physical book and thought it was bad, but then I moved to audio thinking it might be better and would help speed things up since this was a buddy read. Boy, was I wrong. The main character was annoying and hearing it on audio was worse. Not the narrator's fault. Facepalm, not the narrator's fault. The story was slow and lackluster in my opinion. I could literally skip ahead and not have missed anything. I just couldn't do it anymore. I can't bring myself to try and finish a book that barely has any plot. Very disappointed. It was one I had been looking forward to. You can't say this doesn't have a plot. It just doesn't have its own regional plot. It has a plot from like 4 or 5 different things that she's squished together into her own plot. False. It has a plot. It's just not original. Oh, see, this isn't actually 1-star read. This is just me. This is how I think about these books when I heard about them. What an obvious attempt to copy Twilight. That cover, the title, vampires, vampires. I do like vampires. I DNF'd at 25%. This book is too immature and outlandish for me. No, all of the no. This was painful. I was expecting something more than breathy vampires and insta-love. Puke. I don't mind breathy vampires. Wattpad writing, poor Wattpad, has every single paranormal vampire cliche in existence, like nothing was original. Twilight meets the originals meets legacies, with a little slang language for razzle-dazzle. I need some eternal sunshine for the spotless mind shit to erase the travesty that I just read. This was bad. I think that's my favorite one. I'm going to read you an in-depth one from my friend Lacey. What does a vampire and this book have in common? They both suck. Of course vampires suck blood. While this book just sucked the literal life out of my soul, if you could pick any book in the world to rip off as your own and get away with it, would you choose Twilight? If you answered no, then you are a better person than Tracy Wolff. Sure, Twilight serves a sentimental purpose, and I will argue that it changed the fantasy game, but it's not 2005 anymore, and just like the juicy tracksuits, white teenage angst vampires are out. Not to evoke the old saying, those who can't do teach, but why do literary professors always write bad books? See Caraval. She hates Caraval too. Although it made more sense once I found out that Wolff used to be an erotica writer, because why else is a teen heroine having some sort of orgasmic release when her boyfriend sucks her blood? They kiss during an earthquake, and she literally believes their kiss was shaking the earth. So extra. As for the boyfriend, he's an asshole to everyone, and his friends follow her everywhere she goes, yet somehow this has been dubbed the feminist Twilight. No, the main characters are all white, the only LGBTQ plus characters lives light years away and only exists through text, and our strong female lead has plenty of room to rent upstairs. The love interest literally gives her a copy of Twilight, and yes, the forking source material, and tells her to consider it as a warning. Honestly, that was my favorite part of book 1, because I was like, come on, she has to be not taking herself so seriously, right? And then I found out she was. Shocker, she does not make the connection. This book is set in Alaska, features a love triangle between a shapeshifter and a vampire. But she threw Puff the Magic Dragon in there to make it different, even though the cover, front, etc. are all directly inspired by Twilight. The writing talent is even on par with the source material. This lady used AF many times, non-ironically. This is partially the fault of the editor who allowed this trash to go to print, and then let it print with a plethora of arrows. Octopi is not the correct plural of octopus. You are failing at every facet of your life's work. The only thing I like is that almost everyone wanted the main character to die, and I related so hard to them. I still love this book. I don't care. What does this say about me that I don't care? Anyway, but then there's book 2. But wait, there's more. I'm gonna wet my whistle here. Some of these are a bit lengthier because people have words. What the fuck? I don't normally swear a lot, but seriously, what the fuck? I can't believe she's pulling this love triangle shit on us. It's awful. I hate Hudson. Jackson and Grace are so perfect for each other, and they don't end up together. Hudson is so much better than Jackson, in my opinion. Come for me in the comments if you want. DNF, all the exclamation points. I obviously did not enjoy book 1 as much, but this cover is totally up my alley. Here's hoping that Crush ventures outside the whole Twilight shadow. Update. I'm only at 16% and I've already skipped through pages. I'm having a hard time continuing on. Update. DNF at chapter 22. I tried. Weeping. Cannot, for the sake of my sanity, continue on. I couldn't go beyond chapter 22. Grace annoys the crap out of me. Grace is really annoying, and I felt for Hudson. Like, I could not imagine being stuck in that girl's brain for as long as that guy is stuck in her brain. Like, let me tell you. I'm not going to waste my time reading this book if the author is going to introduce a love triangle after the first book. Just no. I think I just like this one because it's got an office feel. It's got an office meme attached to it. Are you kidding me? What the fudge? Like, what the actual fudge was this? I'm speechless right now. I loved the first book, but reading this was like taking a dip in ice cold water. The change, of course, the storyline took was absurd. Absurd, I say. I think I even have whiplash. In all seriousness, I'm so disappointed in this. Explain to me what the point of the first book was. What was it? How do you build a character as a prominent figure and then condense him down to a spoiled boy? How? Like, at this point, I don't even want to read the next book at all. That's how annoyed I am. Sorry for the venting session. I just absolutely hate it when authors do this. It felt like she was trying to do the whole Damien, Elena, and Stefan thing from Vampire Diaries, but not as effective. I understand that sometimes authors want to take a different route than originally planned with characters, but if the transition shift is done out of the blue in a rushed manner, it really diminishes the storyline. Okay, bye. I can't. What the serious hell was that shit? It was glorious is what it was. This book is absolute hot garbage and deserves no rights. I just feel like it's so unfair. No rights? It gets no rights. No rights to what? To exist? To vote? To its reproductive organs? It's not America, Alyssa, stop it. Save yourself some time and go read Aquatar. Thank me later. I think I'll do one more. I never leave reviews, but I felt like I had to make an account just to say, oh my god, what the fuck. How did we go from Crave to this? Crush literally crashed and burned all my hopes and dreams I had while reading Crave. These two books are so polar opposite, it doesn't make any sense why the author would do this. I've never been this mad since Twilight when Bella was being pulled in two different directions, and I do not like love triangles. They are so cheesy, it's just overdone. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Grace comes out as a lesbian in the third book, because it would just be the cherry on top of this cluster of nonsense. Actually, yeah, please make her gay so we can avoid this Hudson Jackson drama. I'm not continuing the series. I'll probably donate Crush and keep Crave. Angry face, angry face, angry face, angry face, angry face. Oh, I love them. And like, I get it. I 100% get why people hate these books. I do. But like, I also just love them so much. I think it's because I can see them as like an early 2000s live action television show with all of the cheesy, like, horrible special effects that they would have, and just like the weird laugh tracks and like dramatic music, and like it's just crazy. Like there's so many plot holes in this. Like my favorite one in this is that like gargoyles, you can't use magic on gargoyles, like any kind, like vampire magic, witchy magic, dragon magic. Yeah, there's dragon magic. You can't use any of that like on a gargoyle. Like it just, you can't use magic on it. But like somehow, like Macy can use magic. Macy's her cousin can use magic to like transport her places. So like, what is, how do you have a magic system where you can do these things? Like, so you can't like hurt them with magic, but you can like physically move a gargoyle with it? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then parts of this made no sense. Like, I don't know, but I don't care. I don't give a shit. And like, yeah, so I don't know. I hope that this was at least somewhat fun to just kind of go through some shitty reviews of what are actually shitty books. I really hope one day that Tracy Wolf will like just admit that this is satire, because this is satire. If this is satire, then this is brilliant. If this is really truly meant to be a serious YA series, then like, I don't know what to tell her. She needs to stop getting mad, because what she actually wrote is satire, and it's brilliant satire, and I love it. But yeah, so if you've read these, I'd love to hear your comments down below, especially if you hate them, just because I just think that really well written bad reviews are hilarious, especially if the shade is like, the shade level is super high. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, leave down below unicorn blood, and so I know that you've made it this far. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I see you guys next time with whatever I film, because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.